Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you are having a fantastic day. It is Friday once again, which means it's time for another episode of Ye Olde Weekly Beauty Chit Chat. And if you're new around here, this is a long-running series where I just chit chat about all of the fun, frivolous, completely unnecessary beauty products that I was personally loving or obsessing about over the course of the past week. Per usual, we have a fun little lineup of things to discuss from this past week, so we're gonna go through all of these. I will, of course, list and link everything in the description box below this video here. If you'd like to know where to purchase these items, read up other people's reviews, look at in-depth ingredient information, yada, 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 check out the description box. It is a plethora of information. Anyway, I hope you guys had a great week. I had a really good week myself, outside of the fact that it is so hot. Why is it so hot? That's right, it's summer. Anyway, I'm over it. I wish that summer would just move along at this point, but I think we've got a couple more months of this, so I'm not terribly excited about it. But other than that, I'm feeling pretty great this week. I have started working out regularly again. I actually started that last week, so it's kind of a big change for me because honestly, I haven't worked out regularly and consistently in a number of years. I feel like I have lost a lot of strength. I feel like I've lost a lot of energy over the last several years. And I just really kind of need my mojo back. And I am one of those people who, while I don't like working out, like I'm not a workout fanatic, I just find that that is always when I feel my best though, is that if I just dedicate like an hour of my day to taking care of my physical health by moving my body, that I just almost immediately start to feel better. Like, I think I just need some more oxygen to my brain. I don't know. But anyway, I'm back at the gym. I am doing a combination of weight training and cardio because that is always what has worked best for my body type. And I think that once I get through these first kind of few initial weeks here, that it's gonna be a lot easier, because honestly right now it's a little tough. Listen, if you are in a good workout routine, stick with it. Don't allow yourself to take extended breaks, because man, is it hard getting back into it. But like I said, I'm feeling so much better now that it does make getting in the car and going to the gym a lot easier. And I think I've definitely discovered that I'm one of those people that like, I'm not regularly gonna work out at home as much as I like the idea of working out at home. I need the pressure of going to a place, paying for a place, and being surrounded by other people who are also doing the same thing at the same time. Not that I want any of those people to talk to me. Leave me alone while I'm doing it. But like, I can be there with other people who are all in the same boat as me, and we're all doing it together, right? Anyway, so hopefully soon I will be able to show you guys some big old muscles, or I don't know, whatever. I just want to feel better. That's my main goal here. So, all right, you guys, let me know what you were up to this past week in the comments down below, and don't forget to let me know what you were loving this past week as well. So without further ado, let's kick it off, and we're gonna start where we always start, which is the perfume. So let's dig in. When it came to perfume this week, it definitely was another week of things being just a little bit random and very different every single day. So I didn't even bring all of the perfumes in that I was wearing this week. I just kind of brought a little smattering of the randomness, if you will. So I'm gonna get started with the perfume that I actually reviewed yesterday. And if you are a lover of passion fruit, I'm gonna need you to look into Paris Corner Fayora, because oh man, is this just the perfect passion fruit explosion. This is so good, you guys. I have always loved passion fruit. I love eating anything that is passion fruit flavored. I love smelling anything that smells like passion fruit. It's just another one of those fruity tropical notes that for whatever reason just rocks my world. And I feel like I haven't come across a lot of perfumes that have passion fruit in them. If you have some suggestions, please send them my way. At this point, I don't know how many more like fruity summery scents that I'm gonna be picking up because I'm kind of getting into my fall mode at this point. But I always have a list going, and perhaps next summer could be the summer of all things passion fruit. I feel like for the last couple of years, it's mostly been all things coconut and lychee, but if we can add some passion fruit to the mix, I'm all for it. Now, this does also have a lot of floral aspects to it. So you have some rose in here, some lily of the valley, but you also have some sandalwood and some vanilla at the base and a little bit of musk. It's just really beautiful and unique. And I love this one. It is so good. In fact, I told this story in the review, but I took this on vacation with me, and we actually went on vacation with our friends, and my friend Melissa absolutely fell in love with this. And we were, I think, on day like 3 of our vacation, and I was wearing this. I came downstairs and she was like, "What is that? That smells so good." And so I brought it down for her, and pretty much every day after that she was like, "Can I borrow that perfume again?" So anyway, you guys, this is so good and totally worth checking out, especially if you're a fan of passion fruit. So I'll have this link down below. I do have a discount code for this one, so if you're interested, you can save a little bit of money, but that is delightful. It's so good, you guys. All right, and then to take a complete left turn from that, we're gonna go into something that is a little heavier, maybe a little bit more fall and winter appropriate, although I was wearing it this week, you guys. This is so lovely. This is Ramsch Diva from Zamaya. Oh man. Man, is this one good. This has a really beautiful vanilla. It's got a really nice muskiness to this as well. It definitely comes across as a sweeter vanilla. I do think this definitely gives off gourmand vibes. It's just so pretty. And it's one of those, whenever I put this on, it just kind of makes me feel like I'm being wrapped in a warm hug. Not that I want any warm hugs right now, because it's supposed to be like 90 degrees today, so stay away. But if it's in the form of a hug from a perfume, I'll take it. That's amazing. If you've never tried that, again, super affordable. And look at this bottle, you guys. It's the packaging of these Middle Eastern fragrances, and they're all huge. I mean, both of these I think are 3.4 fluid ounces. Yep, both 3.4 fluid ounces. This one, I think with the discount code, is gonna come in, I believe, under $30. This one is definitely under $40 as well. I've reviewed both formally. You can find the reviews on my perfume playlist on my main channel page, but I tell you what, you can't go wrong with either one of those. And then just to completely take like another left turn, I was wearing my Bastide Rose Olivier. Now, this is normally something that I gravitate towards mostly in the spring. It's a very beautiful, ever so slightly powdery rose. There's a little bit of a green aspect here as well. It's just absolutely stunning though. I mean, in terms of a rose perfume, I think this one kind of straddles the line of modern rose and a slightly more old-fashioned traditional rose. It's really kind of in between those two, I feel like. And it's just a really pretty fragrance, right? Again, it's not one that I typically gravitate towards this time of year in the spring. Yes, I love me some florals in the spring, especially just straight up florals. But this one, for whatever reason, I saw it sitting on the shelf this week and I was like, yes, yeah, I'm gonna need to wear that at least one day, and I'm glad that I did. So listen, the thing with Pastide is that this is a French company. These are actually eau de toilettes, but on me, these fragrances, I also have their Ombre Marquis, which is so good. If you like amber, you have to check that one out. But the thing that I find about these eau de toilettes from Bastide is that they actually last like an eau de toilette. What am I trying to say? Hold please. They last like an eau de parfum on my skin. There we go. They are eau de toilettes, but they last like an eau de parfum. And they're stunning. They're so pretty. Love, 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 love that. Next, let's dig into some skincare favorites from this past week. So over the last couple of weeks here, the old forehead melasma has been acting up again. I think it's because I have been out in the sun without wearing my hat, which I know better at this point, but Craig and I have been going to this concert series with our friends, and we've been going every single week, and I have not been taking my hat. And listen, anytime that I am out in like the open sunshine for more than, I would say, like 20-30 minutes, I feel like it really aggravates my melasma if I am not protecting that area from the sun. And so I'm not entirely surprised that it's flaring up, but it's annoying. I don't currently have a prescription for hydroquinone, which is my personal favorite way to deal with melasma because it is just so effective. Yes, I am aware of, you know, everything that comes along with hydroquinone. I accept the risks. It just clears it up so quickly. And I also use the hydroquinone in the way that it is intended, so I cycle with it, and honestly I haven't used it in probably over a year at this point. So I do have some more readily accessible ingredients that I can use in conjunction with each other to get that melasma to calm down. And so this is my trifecta here. If you're also struggling with melasma, I highly encourage you to check these ingredients out. You might not need all three together, but personally, I have found that using these three specific products with these ingredients has just been really helpful for me. So what is the trifecta? It's this one right here. So first is the COSRX, the alpha arbutin 2 discoloration care. This has 3% tranexamic acid in it. This is a really nice liquid consistency here. And so this is usually the first thing that I apply, and I will typically use all three of these all over my face, but I really work on, you know, like making sure that the products are concentrated on my forehead. That is where the vast majority of my melasma is concentrated. It's just randomly on my forehead, nowhere else on my face. Hopefully it doesn't spread, knock on wood. But this is usually the first thing that I apply because it has a more liquid consistency. So I just, you know, work that into my skin. And then immediately after that, I go in with the Naturium azelaic acid. This is a 10% azelaic acid. This also has vitamin C in it, although I have personally found that vitamin C doesn't do much in the way of treating my melasma. It does give me a much brighter look to my skin overall, but it doesn't really always impact my melasma, but azelaic acid sure does. So because of the consistency of this product, it goes on second, and I will literally apply that over top of the COSRX tranexamic acid. And then, just to seal the deal, I need kojic acid too. All three of these particular ingredients, the kojic acid, the tranexamic acid, the azelaic acid, those are all really great for helping with skin discoloration. Again, not everybody is going to need all three, but my melasma can be kind of stubborn, and I also don't have very sensitive skin, so that's something worth keeping in mind here. If you are someone with very sensitive skin, you might not be able to use all 3 of these ingredients together. You might need to, you know, kind of alternate days where you're using these 2 or 3 ingredients together, whichever you decide is right for you. But this is the Dermatology Hydrafader. This has kojic acid in it. This is actually specifically designed to help with dark spots, discoloration, melasma, stuff like that. So if you have never tried the Dermatology Hydrafader, you should definitely think about checking this one out. This one has kind of an interesting, almost like gel-like consistency, so I always apply this 1/3. And again, I just allow that azelaic acid to kind of absorb into the skin a little bit, and then I will go in with this and once again work that into the skin. And over the course of, you know, a few weeks, that melasma really starts to fade again, and then we start the cycle over when I don't wear my hat and I just go sitting in the sun all willy-nilly like I'm 20 and can do those things, but I am not 20. I am 46. I don't know how I'm not 20 anymore, but I am 46 and things are different. So listen, if you are one of the rare like 20 somethings that watches my channel, that's a very small part of the crowd here, but if you're one of those people, cherish your youth. Goes by real fast. All right, let's keep going with skincare, because I love skincare. I have found so many great products over the years that have just allowed my skin to look so much better than it has at any other point in my life, including actually my 20s, ironically enough. So yeah, anyway. Because it's so warm out, I really have not been loving heavier moisturizers these days. So I'm using this tiny little sample guy from Glow Recipe. This is their Watermelon Glow Pink Juice Moisturizer. So this is the moisturizer that I have been wearing for the daytime. If you are someone with very dry skin, this is not gonna be for you. This is lightweight, but it does provide enough moisture for me as someone who has a more combo skin type. It doesn't make the oily areas overly oily either, and it just absorbs very quickly into the skin. The texture of this particular lotion is so nice. So you can see it actually kind of starts to run down my hand here. It just is so lovely and lightweight, and it just immediately, like my skin just drinks this up. And I will usually put this on towards the end of my skincare routine. I do use the niacinamide dewdrops over top this. And then obviously I go in with my SPF. By the way, lately I've been wearing the Physical Tinted Moisturizer from Dermatology. I am a Dermatology partner, so I do have a discount code with these guys. If you are interested in trying anything from them, that information will be in the description box. But this is a zinc oxide and titanium oxide SPF, and I really like this one. It also has a lovely tint to it. And as long as you are just looking for a really light coverage, this tint might act as almost a foundation for you. So I don't know. I still wear powder foundation over top, but some days, especially if I'm working, I will just wear that and just a little tiny bit of setting powder over top, and that's my like foundation for the day. So, but anyway, if you need a lightweight moisturizer, this one is really lovely. Glow Recipe isn't necessarily the most affordable brand, but it is a brand that I really like. And as long as I really like a product from a company, I'm willing to splurge on it. But there definitely are less expensive moisturizers out there. But if you've always kind of been curious about this one, I really do like it a lot. And I do like that watermelon scent. It does have that watermelon fragrance. It's very light. It doesn't linger on the skin. But if you are anti-fragrance in skincare, that's obviously going to bug you. So you should stay away from that. All right. I am going to mention one more Glow Recipe thing, but this is actually something that I reviewed last summer, and it did not work out for me last summer on my face. but I am using it this year on my chest, and I really like this for reapplication. A lot of times I will wear, you know, like these deep V t-shirts or something that has kind of a scoop neck like this. And because this particular SPF, because it has a tint in it, I will oftentimes bring it down my neck, but I don't put it in this area here because I don't want that tint to rub off on my clothing. So this is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Dew Balm. This is an SPF 45. And this is in that like stick format. So I have actually popped this into my purse, and when I'm, you know, just out and about and it's time to reapply SPF, I just have been taking this out and, you know, kind of just applying it where my skin is exposed here. And it's a really nice texture. If you are someone who has very, very dry skin, and as long as you're okay with the chemical SPFs, you might want to look into this because this is a really hydrating formulation for an SPF. I really like the way that this feels on my chest. And once it starts to dry down, I mean, it's a little tacky, but it's not overly tacky or sticky. And you have to be mindful about reapplying your SPF. You know, applying it before leaving the house is great, but it really does need to be reapplied somewhat regularly. Another thing that I like this for is oftentimes when I'm driving home, I will just take this and like put it on the tops of my hands so that my hands are protected while I'm driving. And you know, that way I don't have the SPF like on my palms and making my steering wheel all gross. So I like these stick formats for stuff like that. I don't really like them for the face necessarily, but this has been nice for body touch-ups. Not that I'm telling you to buy this just for that, but if you do have a drier skin type, you might like this. It is, I feel like it's pretty hydrating. So I only have one hair care item that I want to mention from this week, and then we're going to get into some makeup here. That item is the Color Wow Dream Cocktail Carb Infused Leave-In Thickening Treatment. This bad boy right here. I feel like I've had a really nice voluminous hair week around here, and honestly I think it's because I've gone back to using this. I really like this product a lot, and honestly I don't have much left of it. And for whatever reason, I'm always trying new products. If I'm out at Target or Ulta or Sephora and something catches my eye when it comes to hair care, I'm usually like, oh, can't hurt to try that. So pop it in the cart, right? So I tend to have a lot of hair care products going at any given time. In fact, underneath my bathroom sink, I have this huge basket full of hair care products that are in various stages of completion, if you will. This, I'm not far off from finishing this, and I will repurchase it in the future, but I kind of wanted to get it out of the system, so that's mostly why I've been using this for the last couple of weeks here, again, pretty regularly. But this stuff, if you have fine, thin hair like I do, if you have 57 strands of hair, and you need something to add into your routine to really give your hair a little more oomph, you cannot go wrong with this. Now, I do use this in conjunction with a mousse and then sometimes also a volumizing spray. I did that today, but that trio of products, that mousse, the volumizing spray, and then this leave-in treatment, I guess is what they're calling it. When I use all three of those together, it really does give my hair a lot more like just texture, but not crunchy, dry texture, right? Like I can still touch my hair and it doesn't feel gross. Yeah, this is a great line. My friend Susan Reedy actually introduced me to Color Wow many years ago. It wasn't a brand that was really on my radar, but she loved it, and I think she sent me one of their products, and I think it was actually the Dream Filter. I think that's what she sent me, and I was like, this is great. And she's like, this is a great line. You should try more. So I have been, and I really do think this is a line worth checking out if you've never tried anything from them. Love, love, love this especially, so would definitely recommend. Okay, shall we talk makeup? Let's do it. Okay, first things first, I am using liquid foundation. I know, right? If you haven't been here over the last like month or so, couple of months, this might be a surprise to you because I have been using powder foundation since like 2000, 2001 when I discovered Bare Essentials, Bare Minerals now. And I was hooked. Like a powder foundation for an oily skinned girly was a godsend. And I have tried other liquids over the years, but with my oilier skin type, it just wasn't a good fit. Now that I'm a little bit more combo, thanks to, you know, fantastic changes that are happening in my body, thanks, I think, mostly to HRT, I am now able to wear liquid. Now, I got this for free in an order. I had actually placed an order for the Westmore Beauty Body Coverage Perfector, this product right here, which, by the way, I love this. This is fantastic. I do wish that I would have selected the next shade up, but I went with the Light Radiance, which almost matched my skin perfectly. This really does, if you have legs that maybe you have a lot of little spider veins, maybe you're like me and you are a mosquito magnet, and when the mosquitoes attack you, if your natural reaction is just to like scratch your legs until they bleed, which is what I do, and then I am left with scabs and red marks for weeks after, if you kind of want to cover that stuff up a little bit, this works like a charm. Now, you really need to let this dry down before you put on your clothing or anything like that. But for me, I found this to be fantastic. It didn't transfer onto my clothing at all, but you need to give it several minutes to fully dry down. But once it does, it stays put. And it actually it's waterproof, so it will last through a shower if you are not like scrubbing it off your legs. So yeah, this is great. But anyway, when I bought this was a freebie, and this is the Westmore Beauty Instantly Flawless Foundation. I got the shade Light. They allowed me to pick the shade as my freebie. And what I have learned since uploading that review is that I actually think they're discontinuing this, which is a massive bummer. I think there is a replacement product for this that looks to be somewhat similar, but I really love this, so I'm kind of bummed. I haven't been able to find the shade Light again, and not that I need to repurchase this right now, so I don't need any more of this right now. This particular tube is still pretty full. But this is a liquid foundation that just looks so good on my skin, and it feels so comfortable. One of my many beefs with liquid foundation is that oftentimes it feels heavier on the skin, and it can settle into pores and fine lines. This does not. It's so good. And of course, I think it's being discontinued. Like, I don't know that for sure, but there are not a lot of color choices left on their Amazon store or their website, which makes me think it's also on sale, which makes me think, yeah, I think they're doing away with this. So that is the story of my life. Let me tell you what, everything I love goes away. I hate it. All right, let's keep going. For blush this week, I decided to reach for this a few times, and oh my gosh, doesn't this match my shirt perfectly today? This is Sephora still doing this? This is from such a long time ago. This is from the Sephora and Pantone Universe collab. This was the year when Coral was the shade of the year. This is the blush duo in Desert Flower and Coral. So these guys right here. I love both of these. So for most of this week, this is the blush duo that I've been wearing. I have to use a lighter hand because this is quite pigmented and quite bright, but I really love the really pretty natural peachy glow that this gives me. I need to use this a little bit more often this summer. Typically, I don't wear shades like this all year round. I will usually reserve them for the spring and summer. And then I like to go back to my nudes, pinks, and mauves for, you know, the other seasons. So time's running out for this bad boy. So I think I might just keep this out and keep using it because, like I said, I really like the effect that it gives. It just is, it's such a pretty color. And yeah. But yeah, this is old. I really like this packaging back in the day too. So it's got these like magnets and then this just basically pops over the top. Fun packaging. All right, in terms of eyeshadow, I have been using this Tarte palette here, which has a bunch of just random singles in it. A lot of these singles are from Sydney Grace. These here at the top are from Sydney Grace. Some of these here at the bottom are also from Sydney Grace. But there's also some random Tarte shadows in here as well. Is there potentially also some MAC shadows? What are some of these? This is a Tarte. What's this? I think that might actually be, I don't know what these are. Anyway, it's just one of my random palettes. I know, I wish I could give you better information, but I do know that most of these matte ones here at the top are from Sydney Grace. These down here are a little bit more of a hodgepodge. I actually have an entire other palette exactly like this that is just full of Sydney Grace shimmer shadows, which are so, so beautiful. Took me a long time to get around to trying Sydney Grace, but once I did, those are great eyeshadows. And they're all sold in singles, which is nice because you can curate your own palette. But I will just tell you, it does get expensive. If you're gonna like, you know, do a 12 pan palette, that is 6 times 12. So still ends up being about the same as what you pay at Sephora. But yeah, you can kind of, you know, take your time collecting them. But yeah, anyway, I love reaching for random older palettes like this these days because honestly, I have a lot of eyeshadows that need to see some love. And so I've just been grabbing for the random stuff, and this is a great random palette. So sporting that. And to put underneath my shadows, I've started using this as my primer. This is from City Beauty, and when this first came out, they sent this tube to me. So, and I really liked it at first, and then for whatever reason, I stopped using it. But I went back to it this week, and I really like how this smooths out my eyelids. My eyelids are still in pretty good shape. I definitely will apply my skincare. I have to be a lot more careful about it because I don't want it running into my eyeballs. But, you know, I bring my skincare down onto this like delicate eye area. I'm a little more selective with what I put there, but I think it's important to treat that area as well because it is so super delicate. And this particular product is kind of a combo of a treatment and a really good eye primer. This makes the colors really vibrant, and it also keeps them on my lids all day, prevents creasing, and then it also has really great ingredients just to treat your eyelids at the same time. So this is a wonderful product, and I don't know, maybe I'll just keep using this. I have really liked using the Urban Decay primer potion again, but honestly, I'm almost done with that one. And I like the idea of the skincare benefits added to this particular product at this point because, yeah, I'm getting older, and I love these like dual purpose type products. I think you really do have to, you have to think about the whole thing, right? Like it can't just be your face. Always bring your skincare down onto your neck, down onto your chest. Make sure that you are treating your lids, but be very careful with that delicate area, obviously. So yeah. And the last thing I want to mention is that I finished a lip gloss. I'm so proud of myself because it takes a long time to finish lip products, but I have officially finished the Tower 28 Shine On Lip Jelly in the shade Pistachio. It's gone, and I will repurchase this. This is wonderful. This particular formulation is very thin, and so it does go on the lips really beautifully, and it doesn't feel heavy. I love both a thinner lip gloss consistency and a thicker, but this one here during the summer, I think is just kind of, it feels a little lighter on the lips than a heavier gloss does. So I was reaching for this quite a bit. And this is such a lovely kind of neutral mauve shade here. It's just really pretty. They have a bunch of other really beautiful colors as well. So if the pistachio shade doesn't float your boat, try something else. I also have the shade XOXO. Where are you? I gotta show you this shade because it's so pretty. Here it is. It looks crazy bright, right? And I'm almost done with this one too. I should see if I could finish this before the end of the summer. Maybe we'll leave this one out next. But yeah, it's this really bright, kind of vibrant, like fuchsia pink. But on the lips, it's just the lightest pop of color. It's so, so pretty. So anyway, let's finish this one next. Why not? It actually goes really well with this blush. So yeah. Keep using this summer stuff up. Anyway, rest in peace. At some point, I will repurchase this for sure because that's just been a really pretty color. But before I do that, I think I need to finish a couple of other glosses. So anyway, let me know what you were loving this past week in the comments down below. I really appreciate you guys being here and just engaging in my channel. It means the world to me, so I hope that you know that. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what you were loving this past week in the comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.